So I'm going to go ahead and start and try not to give you any squeaky noises as I do this. So on behalf of Standing Bear High School, I want to welcome you to Moore Middle School. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Sue Casada, and I am principal of the building. And I have to tell you, wow. This is what we've been looking forward to. This is what it's all about. This is everything that we've been working so hard to do, is to welcome you all at the opportunity to learn not only about Standing Bear High School, but learning about what that opportunity looks like for your student in high school. So this evening, I realize for those of you that have attended other events or other 8th grade nights, because you have lots of choice in Lincoln Public Schools, which is fabulous, we're going to be a little more low-key than other schools because we don't have students yet. So what's wonderful about that, believe it or not, is the fact that you as a student at Standing Bear High School get to envision what it will become. And I'm thrilled about that for you. Mr. Schroeder, who's the athletic director, Ms. Lind, myself, Ms. Martins, who's our computer tech, and Suzanne Mackey, along with coaches and teachers, have created the bones and the frames by which you'll create the traditions and ultimately the legacy that will become Standing Bear High School. So I really am excited for that. One of the things that we've learned, so part of the journey in understanding how to build a school or what we need to do about a school is really beginning a partnership with members of the Ponca tribe. And that's one of the first things we did. And one of the first things I learned was that as we begin any gathering, a meeting, an opportunity to work with students, we did this at every time we had a meeting about our mascot, as we began with a land acknowledgement. And what it does is that acknowledgement recognizes the people who came before us, who created the space in which we can exist, the space in which we can collaborate and create. So we meet today on traditional Pawnee land, now home of the Omaha, Ponca, Santee, Winnebago, Sac, and Fox, and Iowa nations. We begin by paying our respects to those elders, past, present, and emerging. We hope that the work we do brings connection and meaning to the culture of Standing Bear High School. So most times when we gather as a staff and for our staff meetings, we will begin with something that's similar. I think it's important as we think about creating that rich legacy and that rich tradition of who we're named for, that we acknowledge the history that is on the land that we now occupy. I'm really trying hard not to move. So tonight, we'll have a chance to honor Chief Standing Bear. You're going to learn a little bit about the facility and campus. You're going to see a bit of who's who of Standing Bear. We're going to share a little bit about the vision for student learning and adult collaboration. We're going to talk about the partnership with the College of Business. You're going to look at our advisement schedule and our student schedule. And then really you're going to spend the rest of the night talking about and talking with the people who will make all of this happen, which are our coaches and our department chairs and our faculty. So, welcome to the home of the Grizzlies. We've existed at Moore Middle School all year. We've been grateful to the Moore staff and to the 8th graders that were housed with upstairs. We've done some fun things with them. We went with a group of them to the Nebraska College of Business. We have done Fun Facts on Friday, where they come in and they get to see, they spend a lot of time asking questions about our uniforms. They were really curious about our mascot. They helped us decide who our mascot was and is and our colors. So we're grateful to the Moore students that have welcomed us and to the staff as well. How we came with the Grizzlies was because Standing Bear, in his legacy and his name, was named after the grizzly bear as well. Now, we did some research as to whether or not the grizzly was actually native of Nebraska. We did a lot of research, actually, when it came to thinking about mascots. And the grizzly was at one time did roam parts of Nebraska. What we've learned is we've connected with the Ponca tribe as the power of place. And that will be an important theme as your student enters into Standing Bear High School, is the power of place. The place that welcomes them, the place that creates, and that they create, but also the place that they leave to go to next. One of the ways we're going to honor Chief Standing Bearer is signage throughout the building. We met today with members of the Ponca tribe to think about how do we bring in some cultural components from the Ponca culture and community into the building. So there will be signage, there will be opportunities for students to learn. The Ponca tribe is in the process of looking at a language acquisition, and so thinking about how do we bring in Ponca language to our students, how do we bring in some drum circles, how do we bring in beadwork. We're making some curricular connections as well. There will be a maquette. So I've learned a few words as I've started on this journey. A maquette, for those of you that don't know, is a small statue. So we've been graced by donors in Lincoln to give us a statue that is small in stature, obviously, but it also represents, and it's the same design as the one that is in Statutory Hall in the Capitol building, and also one that you see on Ponca land. We're going to celebrate Standing Bear Day in May 2023. It's a day that the unicameral has designated in honor of the legacy of Chief Standing Bear. And we're also making intentional curriculum connections throughout social studies and English and art and music. So we're really excited about the opportunity to look at integration in ways that being at Standing Bear High School offers us to be able to do. But the real reason you probably want to come to Standing Bear is because it's cool and it's new. Building's sweet. We were just there last week. It'll be open for us in August. We'll be able to welcome students and staff starting this summer. Just a little bit of information. I was talking with a gentleman earlier, so you'll see, this is a current picture. So you see the championship soccer field that already has our logo on it. You will see the softball field. We'll be housing 4 softball fields in a complex, the championship complex. We will have, in addition to that, we will have 6 other soccer fields. We will have 6 tennis courts, and it's an amazing building. I was at East High School for 14 years, 14 great years, loved every single minute of it, but I didn't realize how dark it was until I came to Moore, and the amount of natural light in this building is amazing. So it's to think about it as an entire campus, which is a unique way to think about a high school experience. The way the building is organized is in zones. And so as you think about the zones, this presentation will be available on the website after tonight, but there's 3 really learning zones. So the zone 1, which is the area in red, is where the collaborative spaces are. The media center in the library is sweet. It has a green room. If you're interested in podcasting or broadcast journalism or opportunities like that, it's an amazing space that has all the cool technology to do it. There's also some really interesting and unique spaces for students to do small collaborative work. There's the learning stairs, which are these beautiful wooden stairs. They don't really look like they're comfortable, but they are. Every time I've been to Northwest, I've seen students sitting on them, talking, doing their work, spending time with their friends, and learning. And zone 2 is the smaller, more traditional classroom spaces. And then zone 3 is the collaborative spaces that are the performing arts, the gym space. So it really is an impressive site. These are just some pictures to give you some idea. These were taken actually at Northwest, but it's a similar design. If you're interested in culinary and family and consumer science, it has a competition-grade kitchen. Okay, it is cool. The classroom spaces are really modular and intended to be collaborative. So all the tables have wheels on them. They can move out so we can integrate and think about design in a different way. The cafeteria, which is, according to my 12-year-old son, who thinks this is the coolest space in the world because lunch is his favorite time, thinks the cafeteria is pretty sweet. The library and the learning stairs, you see them there. You can't see where I'm pointing because, well, I'm behind the screen, but you know what I'm doing about. So the learning stairs are right there. There's the broadcast space and then the library. Angela Christensen Fisher is our librarian. She's here tonight if you have questions about it. The goal, of course, always is to integrate students into a learning environment, and the library is probably the central hub of that. This gives you some more ideas of some collaborative spaces. What I was talking about earlier is the scope of the building will have the same facilities that all other buildings have. So you go to East, I'm going to use East as my example because that's my most recent experience. You know, they have a pool, we'll have a pool. I mean, what students have the opportunity to do at all of the other LPS schools, they will have the opportunity to do at Standing Bear as well. but there are some unique opportunities. The building and the grounds are built for sustainability, okay? So the buildings and the grounds are built for sustainability. There's an outdoor garden space that'll have 12 raised beds. So if you're interested in agriculture, or you're interested in agronomy, or you're interested in just even being in nature, we'll have built-in spaces for that around our facility. So building updates, just to give you an idea, the work on 70th and Saltillo will be done by the spring, and that's really what we're most important. That's really, now you can see me. Hello. So the work on Saltillo will be done. So you actually, the good, for those of you that have drop off at Moore and know how problematic Saltillo has been, or 70th has been, that will be opening up. Saltillo will close, by the way. So Saltillo will be closing soon. The building will open for us for slow movement in June of 2023. We will have summer activities, but they might not be at Standing Bear. So for example, LPS does summer camps. So I believe most of our coaches are thinking about how to do summer opportunities. They may or may not be at Standing Bear, but they will be in probably Moore or other facilities around the city. We want you to go to the social media and the website. The website's now up and running for updates. So we'll begin updating the process of the building by providing pictures, so you kind of know what's going to happen. And then we believe that in August, we'll be ready for readiness days and locker checkout and all those good things, and band camp to welcome both the 9th grade students on the first day of school, and then everyone else when they come in the next day. So, can I have everyone who is currently hired for Standing Bear just raise your hand wildly so people can want to look around the room. You'll see that we have a strong staff of 26, and I'm really excited about them. There are several pieces of why I think they're the coolest in the world right now, okay? Because they're willing to take this opportunity to take themselves out of a space and to create something that's brand new. And I'll tell you, as a principal of a building, as a teacher, as an educator, that is the most exciting piece for me, is a willingness for others to come together to envision what can become and what the potential is. And these are the people that are going to do it. So tonight you'll have an opportunity to meet all of these fine folks. Here is just a little bit about them. I'm not going to read you the names, but you'll have a chance. I don't know who we're laughing at, but we can laugh at somebody. And now I'm going to turn it over to Tricia Lind, who is the associate principal, who will be responsible for the master schedule of the building, and we'll talk with you about the schedule at Standing Bear.
Hi, everybody. Gosh, we are so excited to see so many here. I was nervous yesterday as we were talking. I was nervous. I was like, the weather. But we have you all here, and just know that we are so grateful to have you here, and we're so grateful to see some familiar 8th grade faces out here. And I know this mic is not great, so I will try and just stand here. But thank you for being here. I know that one of the questions that's come up a lot for us is the schedule. And as we process through the schedule and all the things that we could process, we really came up with the 7-period schedule for a number of reasons. But one of them is using the spaces. We just showed you several pictures. You're going to see several more. We'll show the video again here at the end so you can see some of the spaces now as they're still progressing with the construction. But using those spaces to the fullest and allowing the teachers and coaches that just raise their hands to use that space collaboratively, that was where we were thinking. One of the other things that we really processed through, coming from middle school mentality to high school and blending, is this idea that we wanted to provide an advisement. Some would call it homeroom. We're calling it advisement, trying to give an opportunity to students to be able to have a relationship. As we're starting a new school, all relationships are new. So having that 20 minutes built in to our schedule 4 days a week, I'm going to talk about that PLC day on a Tuesday here in a second, but 4 days of the week that students can go in, and then we're able to provide some of the SEL lessons, social emotional. We're able to be talking about career readiness. We're able to talk about or even do some of the drills the right way so that we're practicing, we're getting the information to the kids. We're talking about MTSS, social behavior boosters. It just allows us that time to hone in with a group of kids that's smaller for some teachers, with the hope that we're going to have them with that homeroom teacher for all 4 years. That's our hope. And I think that's something that as a parent, I can grab onto and think, yes, I love that. I love that. I think some other things here, 9, 10, 11, 12, grade looping. We're really going to have a focus on the 9th graders as they transition in, create some intentional purpose around conversations with them. The goal is to create a smaller learning community, intentional work, as I said, even including the academics, goal setting, looking at grades, counseling curriculum. We'll have the counselor come in and provide some of those lessons that sometimes takes away from instruction in the classrooms, pre-ACT prep, and school-wide activities, okay, that I'm looking forward to. Then that PLC day, the unique thing about the high school is that our doors open at 7. I know middle school typically is 7:30, 7:45 for breakfast. We're open at 7. We're providing opportunities at that early time for students to do some of the things that they don't get to throughout the day. And then also every Tuesday is an early release. Please know that your student will have a safe place to be for that time after school if they're involved in other activities at 3, 3:30, including sports, one act, band, whatever. They'll have a space, a safe space that we'll have designated. Again, at the high school level, on a PLC in a middle school, that's not the case, but a PLC for a high school every Tuesday is very organized and structured. And then these are our we believes. We believe strongly about these. They've come up so many times in all of our conversations. But all students can learn at a high level. Students learning is reliant on the adult collaboration, the planning, the preparation, the reflection of practice, and willingness to make the creativity while also making mistakes with the students and trying it a different way. Students learning is relying on adults creating opportunities for students to build skills. I talked a little bit about that with the advisement, academic, behavior, social, emotional. And then lastly, students have not all had the same experiences. We know that. In life to learn and grow. We take students where they are and create the environment for them to grow. And again, that's been so important to the many conversations that we've built on. Here is a jump code. If you want to take your phones out and take a picture of this, we'll provide a jump code here in a little bit too if you didn't get a chance. But you might want this information as you leave here. This is BIBW. You go to that LPS webpage, you put in the jump code BIBW. You're going to get a wealth of information that's going to answer probably some of the questions that you might not get a chance to get answered tonight. So please take a look at that. We're not the only high school on there, so it's going to give course offerings. Like I said, it's just going to give a wealth of information. And then also, I think she said it, but our website is live. We're super excited about it. We're proud of it. So take a look at that too if you've got specific questions to us. And please feel free to reach out. We've been answering emails, even more specifically coming up to this day. So please reach out. We'd love to have contact and some open communication. All right, I'm going to turn it over to our athletic director, Jeremy Schroeder. Thank you for your time.
Thought I could do it without the mic because I'm loud. Folks, the first thing I'm going to say is thank you so much for coming out. As we got ready for this and we were thinking, what's it going to look like? Holy Toledo. This is exciting. I hope that you guys are as excited as we are to see all of your faces to start this journey. There's so many opportunities that come from not only athletics but the activities, music, choir, speech, drama. All of those things go into helping educate our students just as much as all of the sports do. And it's all going to be super important, and we've got some great people that are going to lead those charges at Standing Bear. Why be involved in things? There are studies out there that show the more your students are involved, the better off they're going to be as they grow down the road, mentally, emotionally, and physically. All of those things are huge. And it keeps us in great shape. It lets us live long and healthy lives. Sports that are offered at Standing Bear. We will have everything that everybody else within LPS does, with the exception of in year one, we're not going to play varsity football. We're going to grow into that. We're going to be a member of the Eastern Midlands Conference, one of the toughest conferences in Class B, and our competition will be good every single night, and we're going to grow into that, and we're going to rise to that challenge. As soon as we grow big enough to become Class A, then we'll move into Class A, and then we'll be a member of the HAC. So if anybody who's went to school in Lincoln and other schools that are part of the HAC, we'll get there eventually. It just depends on how fast we grow. But in the meantime, we're going to go to battle with Norris and Waverly and Bennington, who's a two-time state champ in football. You know, Blair. I mean, there's going to be great competition all the way across the board. Music, speech, theater, all of these things are going to be a lot of fun. Our theater program is going to be in one of the best venues in the state of Nebraska. Wait till you guys see this auditorium. It is incredible. I can't wait to see one act perform in there. I can't wait to see Brian Vu's band get on that stage and perform concert band in there. There's going to be so many great things that are going to happen in this building. What do you guys need to do? If you're an 8th grader and you live in that attendance area, you're going to come to Standing Bear. If that's your choice, great. You don't have to do a whole lot. Fill out your choice form. Do your things to come in. If you're from another attendance area, fill out your choice form. If you're a sophomore, going to be a sophomore or next year, going to be a junior, maybe going to be a senior, and you're going to participate in any NSAA activity, you've got to fill out your May 1 transfer form. All of that paperwork will be live on the website. You can go there and access that. Those have to be in so you can compete and you don't have to sit out 90 days. And that information is going to be out. I actually put that information out on our social media account 2 days ago. If you've got questions about those things, please come on and ask us. We are so excited for all of you to come and be a part of history. Thank you.
I'm going the wrong way. God, I step away for a little bit and I lose my skill set. So one of the really cool opportunities at Standing Bear High School is the partnership that we have with the College of Business. So at this time I'm going to introduce Lori Miller, who's the Associate Dean, sorry. They got different words in college than we do. I was just going to call her the Associate Principal of the college, but that's not right. Associate Dean of the College of Business, along with Lindsay Tillinghouse, who is actually going to be the Director of the Nebraska Business at Standing Bear to talk to you about an opportunity for your students if they come to Standing Bear. So Lindsay and Lori, would you guys come on up, please? And would you guys welcome them to the stage or podium? Don't move much. Don't move much. Just stand here and then you gotta click your own. I'm just saying, that's my best advice to you.
Well, Sue, the first thing we're going to have to figure out is how to get you to pronounce my last name correctly. Tillinghast. Tillinghast. So those of you that know me that are here, okay, I won't move. Well, nice to see you all. It looks like there's a great turnout. My name is Lindsay Tillinghast. I am new to this role, as with all of the people at Standing Bear. And I just left Lincoln Public Schools and started for UNL, and part of my role is to help develop this business program here with Standing Bear, so it's very exciting. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what this program will look like, and kind of as far as we've gotten in terms of developing this so far. So there's several words on here that basically say if your student is going to do anything after high school, then they should attend the program. So I hope you all, anticipate your kids will move on and do something else. So the goal of the program is that no matter what you want to do after high school, is that you're equipped with some skills to walk into the workplace, continue those skills as you go to a 2-year or 4-year school. But ultimately, we want students to get some hands-on experiences while they're at Standing Bear related to kind of business and get some access to college faculty and business professionals. Some of those things that we'll see at the school, we're calling either pre-focus areas or in the focus program. So students that are attending Standing Bear as 9th and 10th graders would be part of what we're calling the pre-focus program. And so students will be able to take the World of Business class and get some exposure to some of the faculty in that course, participate in school-wide seminars. So Sue, I don't know who mentioned it, but during that advisement period, they're looking at doing some seminars throughout the year, and we'll have some College of Business components with that as well. Students will also be able to participate in the Business Club, FBLA, and then we want to bring some things from the college to Standing Bear. So for example, at the college, they offer a quick pitch contest through the Center of Entrepreneurship. So we want to bring stuff like that to Standing Bear so that students can participate in those things. So regardless of if they're thinking about pursuing business, they'd get access to those things. So this is sort of tentative business courses that students could take that then we would kind of fold in some pieces from the College of Business. So looking at kind of that 9th and 10th grade year. And so this is still a little fluid depending on how enrollment numbers shake out here in the next few weeks. And then the other piece of this would be that focus program area, the 11th and 12th grade years. So during that time frame, students would be able to take a class where they're eligible to earn college credit and LPS credit at the same time. And then also get some on-campus experiences through their Take Charge course and some other classes. So as the focus program kind of develops, this is what we're looking at so far as some of the courses that students could take and some of those partnerships within the College of Business. So the goal is to get as much access to college credit, partnerships with programs that already exist in the College of Business, and then utilize those different centers that are within the College of Business. So a lot of people ask, well, what do I do? How do I apply? And really the short answer is if you're attending Standing Bear, you automatically get access. So that's the cool part. You go to Standing Bear and you just your student get exposure no matter what grade they're in, no application necessary. But as students kind of go through those 9th and 10th grade years, the format would be during sophomore year, apply to the program, and then they would participate their 11th and 12th grade year. So again, kind of depending on enrollment, we'll see how this goes after next year if we need to do an application process, but that's kind of, if we anticipate there's enough sophomores to juniors, then we would do a short application process. And then just kind of FYI, if you want to know how much classes would cost, there is Nebraska Now is how these courses would run through, and so the fee is significantly reduced compared to a current college student, so about $330 for the course. And then that would get you the 3 credit hours for that course. And then all of this, as this kind of rolled out, I don't know if any of you looked at the Focus Program website that's linked on the LPS website, has all the high schools, and then also has all the focus programs. But this is the short link to this one, is business.lps.org, and that has pretty much everything I just went over, and then some additional information. So, okay. I'll be at a table later if you have more questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Sorry about the last name. So what's next is you have the chance to meet and greet others. So I'm going to introduce a few people first because I want you to make sure you know who they are. Ricky Schaefer, where are you, Ricky? Ricky's over here. She is our school counselor. She's going to be in this room right here. So if you have questions about course options, scheduling, different things like that, she'll be one you'll want to meet to. Mr. Matt Hansen. Mr. Matt Hansen is standing back there. He is our special education coordinator. So if you have questions about that, he'll be at a table out there. We also have members from the youth leadership or the youth development team who are here, along with our cultural liaisons. There is also gifted facilitators, Ms. Rusinger, Ms. Curry, and I believe Dr. Brady is here as well if you have questions about the gifted programs and what those look like in high school. What I'm going to ask, since we have so many and we're in a small space, is that you take a copy of this QR code. If your last name begins with A through L, I'm going to ask you to start in rooms 105, 106, and 107. You're going to visit Family and Consumer Science. You're going to see the marching band uniform. It's not a costume, really, but it looks kind of like a costume, but I'm going to go with uniform. You're going to get a chance to meet some of our faculty. And then if your last name begins through M through Z, I'm going to ask you to start in the hallway, and then you're going to go to the media center, the library, and you're going to meet the coaching staff, who are also teachers at East High School. It's the first time I did that tonight. I feel pretty proud of myself. 14 years of saying East High School, I'm pretty proud that's the first time I said it. So thank you so very much for being here this evening. Thanks for your interest in Standing Bear. If you have questions, Trisha, Jeremy, and I are around as well. Have a good night. Thanks again, everyone.